Hello and welcome to PTI's show at 4 Parliament Street. The Opposition in India bloc is a rainbow coalition of parties that span the entire spectrum of political ideologies. So there is Shiv Sena at one end, and at the other end is an extreme leftist party, the CPI-ML. This Marxist-Leninist party emerged from the Naxalbari uprising of May 1967, and the party itself was founded on the birth anniversary of Lenin on April 22, 1969. The party will have representation in the new Lok Sabha for the first time in 2 decades. It won 2 seats this time, both from Bihar. We have with us today the party's General Secretary Dipankar Bhattacharya. Dipankar is someone who does not mince his words. We will talk to him about the party's role in the India bloc, the future of leftist ideology, his views on democracy, the BJP, the Congress, and a range of other issues, including dynastic politics and crony capitalism. Dipankarji, thank you so much for participating in our show. Welcome to PTI. Let's talk a little bit about your party and about your own journey in the party. The party was founded on the birth anniversary of Lenin. How did you come to be associated with the party?
Yeah, so party was founded on the birth anniversary of Lenin, but it was primarily in the wake of the Naxalbari peasant uprising. So that was 1967. May 67 was when Naxalbari happened, and the party was formed in 1969. So basically, I think there was a period when people were debating whether or not to have a party, whether the time was ripe to have a party or just some kind of a loose coordination will do. So that was for 2 years, 69. And my own association, formally it started in around 1979, 1980, when I was a student. But there is a certain background to it. Actually, my father was working in the railways. So when Naxalbari was happening, that was Darjeeling. So we were in Alipurduar, Jalpaiguri district. Then now Alipurduar is a district on its own. So I used to study in 1967. I was in class 1 in the primary school. So when Naxalbari actually happened, the impact was so much. You know, there are all those wall writings, there are all those slogans. So it generated a lot of queries in my mind. So very impressionable mind, and so I used to have a lot of discussion with my father.
At the age of 5 or 6?
7, 8, 9, when he used to go to the school, you know, there was all these big wall writings, turned the 70s into the decade of liberation. So by 72, when India was having the silver jubilee of independence, so this was happening. So I used to ask why this question of again liberating India, because it's a free country and all that. So my father somehow, he was, in a way, he used never discourage me in this discussion. So we had that kind of political discussion in my childhood years. So that impression was there. But then 1974, I came to Narendrapur Ramakrishna Mission. That is a residential school. And that was a totally different atmosphere again. That's the period of emergency. So we used to get newspapers, we used to know about it. And then by the time 1979, I joined the Indian Statistical Institute. So 1977 was, I think, the most defining year. There was the restoration of democracy. There was this whole feeling that we have got our democracy back. And that's the time when there was this movement for release of political prisoners. All these PUCL, PUDR, civil liberty movement, a lot of environment-related movement. So all these things were happening. And our ISI was a very small place, very few students, and it was a very left liberal kind of an environment. So that's how. And by 79, I had almost kind of decided that this is what I'm going to do. So there are a lot of reports coming out from Bihar. And Comrade Nagbhushan Patnaik, we actually were fighting for his release. So he was one of the few political prisoners to have been released, and there was a committee for his release and all. So that's how it all happened. So 79 onward, I was still a student. I got my degree in 1984. But by that time, I was almost working like a full-time worker of the party. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. So now CPIML will have 2 MPs. You almost had 3 MPs, but you lost Nalanda very...
Yeah, in fact, we were very hopeful about Kodarma too, but that result has been a bit surprising, a bit disappointing. I don't know. We have to look into it. So we had actually 4 seats we contested as part of India. 3 in Bihar, 1 in Jharkhand. Yeah.
And you're going to have these 2 MPs after a gap of 2 decades.
Yeah, that's actually, we are also wondering how best we can make use of it. So at the moment, these 2 MPs, they have been actually MLAs for 2 terms. Both have 10 years of experience in the Bihar Assembly. Both are farmer leaders. They are very much part of this ongoing farmers movement for the last 3-4 years. So I think this will be looked at as some kind of victory for the farmers movement. So people will be expecting us to do something on that front. But of course, the farmers' front in Bihar is very different from what you have in Punjab and Haryana and Western UP. So that's something we will be doing.